Welcome back to Marvel Media Podcast, where we talk about all things media, especially Marvel. I'm Blake, and I'm here with my co-hosts, Josh and Alex.
And welcome to another episode of Golderful. Today we'll be doing our annual recap of the year. Last year we did one for 2021 and a look forward at 2022. Well, this one we're going to be looking at 2022, having now watched at least a good majority of these. We're basing it off of the most of the movies that we named last year. Of course, some of these were delayed, but either way, I guess we'll just try to go and release order. So who wants to talk about the first one, if anyone's seen that movie yet or plans on watching it?
The first one on the list is Moonfall. I believe it stars Patrick. Don't remember his last name. None of us saw it. I just remember last video we talked about it, and I said how no one cares to see this, and we both talked about how it looks stupid, and we were correct. So I just put this in as a nod to Alex and I. Nobody gave a fuck about this movie. It's supposed to be like the first big movie of 2022. It wasn't. Nobody saw it. Nobody cared. So we'll move on. So the real first bigger movie was Uncharted. Obviously, Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg in Uncharted, Sony's movie adaptation of their games that there's a shit ton of.
It's only 4.
That's a shit ton. Not that great of a movie. Pretty decent of a letdown.
It's really nothing great about it, like at all. Also, You couldn't get past the casting throughout the entire film. I remember Blake and we watched it. I went into it open-minded, trying to get past the weird casting options that they chose. Just could not. It just didn't work at all. The chemistry was weird and just didn't work. Simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, I found it somewhat entertaining at times. At other times, it was just very, I don't know. It was definitely trying too hard for me. It was like trying to overcompensate for obviously the miscastings, but and it was too long. I don't know. I felt like it was just too long. Like on top of it being not a really well written script, the casting was not the greatest. It went on for far too long. So, definitely a miss to start off
Big flop.
the year there. So, yeah.
I mean, it was literally just Sony's poster boy, Tom Holland. They're like, hey, man, you want to be in a franchise? And, of course, he was like, yep, because you'll give me a shit ton of money. And they're like, okay, well, guess we're casting him as Nathan Drake. Just awful casting. And then throughout it, he just did not feel anything like it. He was nowhere near as brutal or the killings we needed to see. They messed up. Should have been Nathan Fillion. They missed their mark.
They definitely, and I think if that was the choice, it definitely would have helped win the box office and people actually giving it a chance for that alone. But also, it's kind of just like, I don't know about you, but I just didn't expect them to actually go forward with this film. So it just felt weird that it even came out. And then no one really cared about it either.
This one, they had to switch directors a bunch?
Yeah, it was weird delays, and then the casting came out, who it all was, and then it came out, and everyone was like, okay. And that was it.
See, I think it still did really good.
Mark Wahlberg.
I think it did that great. I know they did. I don't think they made
Rotten
the money
Tomatoes
back.
Not good. Rotten Tomatoes,
I'm saying money-wise.
41%.
I'm saying money-wise. I thought it still did pretty good for Sony.
It did box office of 401.7 million.
Jesus. Okay, that's way more than I expected. What the hell?
Sure, that was good. Yeah, I agree. Mark Wahlberg was really weird as Sully.
Hey, that's on me. For some reason I thought it was a flop, like a box office flop.
Yeah, sorry. It was just meh to me.
Now we can move on to what was really the first, I would say, big box office and just phenomenon, I would say, for movies. The Batman, obviously. We're all big fans of it. We did a video of it, just about it. But that came out, I want to say that was March, right?
Yeah.
And that was kind of like the
March
first big 2022 movie. And it was well liked, I would say, by pretty much everybody.
Yeah. First off, a movie worth going to the theaters for and getting that experience, especially with the sound design for that movie. But
which is shocking to me that it did not even get a Oscar nod for even like the sound design, which is just crazy to me. I mean, honestly, every year that passes by, the Oscars are just becoming more and more of a joke to me. So that just kind of solidified it for me. So, but just a little background on the movie. It got an 85% on Rotten Tomatoes, so pretty good, and it made a box office total of 770.8 million. So pretty good.
I remember us being shocked about
release.
the Rotten Tomatoes being even that low. We all expected to be in the 90s at least.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I would say that was really the first big one of 2022, and that was one that Alex and I, we both talked about. That was, I think we both said that was like our most anticipated movie for us personally, and it lived up to the hype. At least for me, it did. And then we'll go to one that kind of came, more out of nowhere, a 24 film. Obviously, we'll let Josh speak more on this one, but Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, that came out, wasn't one that was like high, a smaller budget one. Look at that.
Yeah. One of the few movies I actually own.
I have it too.
Yeah.
I have it too. I just don't have it with me.
Yeah, Alex literally sent me that it went on sale, and then I bought it. Well, asked for it for Christmas and got it, So, hey.
Yes. So just before you give your thoughts on it, a little context, 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, so that's pretty high. Came out a week after The Batman, and it made 103.5 million, so it made the least out of the three movies we've talked so far.
Damn, I didn't know you had
I have that one too.
Had to do it.
Yeah.
I had to do it. That's a dope
I have both
cover for it too.
Yeah, it is. It's fire.
No, yeah, I mean,
Josh,
this film was just, I saw trailers for it, always wanted to see it, and then I was like, convinced my girls, like, hey, let's go see this in the theaters, expecting to just, like, enjoy this film, and then it came out, like, had tears running down, really loved it, and it went up to straight up my favorite film of all time, so, I mean, just a big hit for me. And overall, even when I was, like, on TikTok and saw TikToks about it, just, like you said, 95% of Rotten Tomatoes, everyone that I know at least seen it or at that time watched it in theaters enjoyed it. So it was a fun little film. Didn't expect it to be nearly as good as it was, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Josh basically put me on it. I was like, all right. I saw it on sale on Black Friday. I'm like, now's a good time. I bought it. I watched it. I was like, I mean, I don't think I revere it as high as he does, but I can definitely see, why he likes it so much. And it is a pretty good movie, and definitely if we had to put for one of the movies that definitely came out of nowhere, and kind of, I don't know, met expectations and somewhat exceeded them, I think this one would be one of them.
One thing I realized is that the theme for me this year, at least an actress that I didn't realize that I saw a lot, or at least if it had her in her, I watched it this year, whether it's like on this list or not, was Jamie Lee Curtis. Like she's in that, and then also Halloween, and then even just over Christmas, I watched a Christmas movie where she's in it, and I was like, watched a lot of her this year.
The Christmas with the Cranks.
Yeah. But I was like, it's kind of just odd I didn't notice. And there's also something else that I forgot the name of, but just this year I know at least 5
Freaky
shows
Friday,
or movies.
of course, with Lindsay Lohan.
With her, so no, I didn't watch that.
The fuck? Weird. So as the Oscars have sucked, I believe we'll just say that movie, for at least Alex, probably Josh, would win the RKO award, as it came out of nowhere. So that's the award that we're granting that one.
Yeah, it did.
Hey, we are coining that now. That is part of our brand, the RKO. So now every year
we're actually editing this out so we can copyright it.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
I mean, we're on a roll. Obviously, we all love the Batman. You two really liked Everywhere. I personally, I thought it was decent, but we'll keep that roll going with big movies. Morbius. What are our thoughts, boys?
For the culture,
for the
culture, amazing. beautiful, outstanding for the culture, you know? And also the fact that Sony re-released this movie and nobody went to see it. I mean, it's just so funny because, like, with Sonic, you know, everyone bullied Sonic and its design. They changed it, then everybody went out to go see it. And then Sony thought, okay, we really released the movie. Maybe they will do that. No.
No. No one cared.
Oh, bro. So, you know.
That's a solid 15%.
Yeah.
15% on Rotten Tomatoes.
We should have an award for the culture. That's the one right there. The one that's
for the culture.
For the culture.
Yeah, none of us saw that.
You know
it's on Netflix. We could watch it for free right now.
Still have it.
Still have no desire.
I watched a lot of it on TikTok. Somebody posted the whole movie.
I saw that. I watched a lot of that.
Yeah.
Josh.
Yeah.
Morbius may still, despite it being god awful and no one went to go see it, it still made more money than Everything Everywhere.
Oh yeah, I mean it's an A24 film.
163 million.
How much was a loss? Was that a loss? How much was the budget for that? I'd love to know.
I don't even know, but it definitely had to be a loss. It was bad.
It made 164.
Yeah.
I feel like that had to make a little bit of money.
Wants 105.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not even showing up the budget for it.
There's no way its budget was
I think
the budget was 83 million, so it made almost 100 mil in profit.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
We'll move on to one Josh kind of talked about in Sonic 2. Alex, as our resident Sonic fan who saw this movie, what are your thoughts?
I did see it. Shoot, it's been a while since I did see it, but I'd say personally I enjoyed it like the same way I kind of when we all saw Sonic. I can't remember who went with me. I know Blake did for sure. I can't remember if Josh did too.
I don't think so.
Wait, no, or none of us saw it.
That was all separate for that one, I think.
Nope. Did not see Sonic.
That is tough. That is tough. Well, we're talking about the first one, but the second one,
yeah,
the second, yeah, that's tough. We're getting older. Memory's definitely getting worse. Whoa.
Yeah.
All right. I'd say it was definitely a better movie overall. The addition of Idris Elba as Knuckles was a nice surprise. It was
surprise Josh.
I didn't know that at all. I knew Knuckles was like the surprise being in the film, but I didn't know that was the voice.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Did his thing, dude. Yeah. And I feel like the final battle was for sure, a lot cooler than the first one. It's meant, it's catered more towards children, so don't expect anything like dark or kind of like the Batman or anything serious.
Hey man, I'll be real.
Not
a single person was trying to compare those movies. Nobody was going to the Sonic 2 thinking this one might be a little kiddish.
The Batman, it was fresh in my mind because that's the one we just talked about. Okay, then which one should I compare
just talked about Morbius.
To
Don't disrespect. We just talked about Morbius.
Facts.
Yeah, I think we'd rather not keep talking about Morbius.
I'm gonna watch it someday. I'm gonna watch it.
I
will. It's been on my list. It's been there. Long time.
It'll come around. We're gonna move on. Nobody cared about Sonic. Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, obviously another one we have a separate video on. I don't know, what are your guys' quick, Josh, what are your quick little thoughts?
I mean, I remember that we were worried about it. It was a roller coaster for sure. And then I know Blake and we did our video first, right? A little review because Alex had to see it later. And I remember we liked it. It was nice, way better than we were expecting it to be. As well as the first time we've seen in a Marvel film where they really push that PG-13 rating, at least in the MCU, for that rating. So felt nice. It was cool. Made some progress also in that phase. So overall, I mean, it just was a good film. That's really I could say for it.
Yeah, I would echo the same kind of feeling. It was definitely, I can't even remember what other movies came out, but it was definitely one of the better ones. It was definitely a highlight for Marvel this year. I mean, when you compare it to both the shows and the movies. So And for it coming out in May, that just says a lot about Marvel and their year of 2022. It definitely wasn't the greatest, but listen,
Yeah, but
it definitely had that like.
May is
Go ahead.
reserved for bangers. In Marvel,
That is true.
That's true.
they drop bangers in May.
That is very true.
They
Yes.
want the movie of the summer, and so they always deliver a May movie, and it is almost always slaps.
That is true. Yeah, I mean, and it got a solid review. It got 74% Rotten Tomatoes, and it made a good amount. Made 955 million, so almost at that billion. So yeah, but not quite.
I mean, like I said,
But,
that's just a roller
pretty good.
coaster film. Because I even remember saying in
Yeah.
my review, and I stand by it when I rewatched it, like just the first beginning of it, I was like, oh God, it's going to be bad. And then finished really strong. So,
Yeah, as soon as Wanda got involved, it definitely got better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, so next one, Top Gun Maverick, the first $1 billion movie of 2022. Obviously, you two both suck majorly and haven't seen this movie.
well, you saw it without me.
Because, Josh likes to be that guy who's like, "Oh, everybody's seeing a movie. I'm not
Hey,
gonna see
no,
it."
there was
Blah,
2
blah, blah."
occasions
He's like
I
that.
asked Blake to see it, and he
You're
was like,
like
nah, you
that.
got to see it on the big screen when it comes back
Dude.
out on IMAX. Never did.
It's worth it. It always will be back. It's a great movie. Definitely one of my favorite ones of the year. Yeah, I mean, you guys didn't see it, which kind of sucks, but there's a reason. It was the first $1 billion movie of the year, and
I see
definitely.
that. I mean,
I have one question.
96%.
I have one question though
Rotten
for
Tomatoes?
your review right now.
Yeah.
How was the beach scene for you in the theater? Like, how did that feel the first time? Because I know you saw it
I'm
at least twice, right?
Yeah.
So how was it the
in
first
theaters
time?
or just in total?
Yeah, like where was your
Um,
hands at? How were you sitting in that position? How was the temperature
be
in the
honest.
theater too? Did it heat
I'll
up?
be honest.
Yeah.
I saw the clip on TikTok a bunch,
Okay.
and it was a different song on TikTok than
Yeah.
it was in the scene, which kind of threw
So you
me
got
for a
thrown
loop
off.
for a second.
Okay.
Because we're like, we're at the beach. I'm like, okay. Then I
Yeah.
hear music. I'm like, oh, this isn't the same music. Are they changing music later in? And then all of a sudden the scene happens. I'm like, okay. I was confused for a second, but my dick still knew what was happening.
Oh, did
So
it?
like that one was
Yeah.
still going on. But like mentally, I was kind of like, what song?
Okay.
But it fit in the cup holder. Overall, I was a big fan of that scene.
You weren't doing like the popcorn. It was the cup holder you were doing.
Yeah, I feel like because then I saw with my friend if he went to get a drink because he's thirsty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got him,
Yeah.
gotcha. Now you got to finish the job. So
Yeah.
overall, it was an enjoyable film.
Okay. And you had to keep your eyes open like the whole time if you did get them, right? Because like,
Yeah,
yeah, you're
it was
not
a
an
feel
eyes closed
thing. It
kind
was like fishing.
Yeah.
When you throw a line out there, I didn't have
Yeah.
a bobber on. I wasn't
Reeling
looking at the
in.
bobber. You
Yeah,
just-
but can't pull too
I'm reeling
hard.
in. If I feel-
yeah,
yeah,
you
if I feel
slowly
set the
reel it
hook.
in, and at the end,
Set
that's
the
when you do it hard. Finish the job.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Hey, thank you for that.
yeah. But Alex, as you were saying, it has super high reviews because this was a really good movie.
Yeah, 96%. That is the highest.
Yeah.
So far.
I'm telling you,
of
this
movies
movie is
that
worth
we've been
watching.
talking about.
Then we'll just go completely downhill. Jurassic World Dominion.
Was I the only one that saw this?
Nope,
Probably.
I saw it too.
Oh, you saw
Oh,
it.
okay, good for you guys. You were the two
Yeah.
guys who were in theater seeing this one? All right, what was that like?
Yeah. Actually, there was like decent
I
amount
mean,
in my
it made
theater.
$1 billion.
Yeah.
No, it did not. It made $1 billion.
Yes, it made $1 billion. Just over $1 billion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
Dinosaurs
just-
really put people in theaters.
It's crazy how that franchise got that. Yeah.
So, yeah.
And it was
I mean,
awful.
So what are your
especially
guys' thoughts
since,
of it?
It was awful. I hated it. Like,
It was compared to the last one. The last one, I hated that one. This one was at least entertaining in certain parts, but overall felt way too long. I mean, the movie's fucking Jesus Christ. I don't even know how long it is. 2 hours and 26 minutes. It felt way longer than that. I mean, all I gotta tell you is just the Rotten Tomatoes score is 29%.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, it's damn near close to Morbius at 17.
Yeah, I made the mistake of like when someone pointed out, I watched a TikTok about the movie right before my parents that day were like, "Hey, you just want to go see this?" I was like, "Okay, sure." The TikTok was Chris Pratt of every time he does the hand thing in that movie, and then so while I was watching the movie, I just every time he did it, it took me completely out, and I just got so annoyed. And he does it a lot. He does it a lot. It's his plot armor somehow.
Kind of his thing.
Yeah.
Kind of his thing.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid.
Started in the first Jurassic World.
Yeah.
Continued in the next one, and then it finished off in this one.
Just bothered me.
Yeah, they made 3 of these after the original Jurassic Park.
Yeah. So
It's crazy. People saw
The
this.
first one was okay. Second one was awful. This one was just to me. But I mean, like you, Blake, I also was shocked. It made $1 billion too. Did not know
That's
that.
crazy.
all those movies
That's
did
crazy.
so well.
Yeah.
Stupid.
I mean, I'm pretty sure
then,
Jurassic World is like top 10 in
Yeah.
box office.
the new one or whatnot.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all. Not at all. Like you said, dinosaurs get people in seats.
Well, people also liked that movie too, the first reboot. So
Yeah.
True. Yeah, the first one was decent.
Mhm.
It was watchable. Then we'll switch up genres. We'll go to what I guess really our first. I would say only horror
Horror.
movie, but we're not going to disrespect. It's our first one.
Yeah.
The Black Phone, Ethan Hawke. Josh was the
Was-
only one of us to see it.
was.
So what were your little
it was
thoughts?
once again one of those films where I just saw it and saw Ethan Hawke was in it, and I was like, "Hey, I'm free to stay. Give it a shot." It was just solid. I'd say nothing more than solid. Not bad, but it's definitely not like. It's more of like an eerie movie, not one that you can go in expecting it to actually scare you in any sense. So if you expect, like if you are going and trying and wanting that from this movie, you'll be disappointed. But it's more of like an eerie and kind of a
Suspenseful.
Yeah, slight comeback story in the mix there too with the main character. But it was good. Ethan Hawke definitely had one scene that I remember. I was like, damn, that was cool as fuck. But it was just all right. It's good. Good enough for me not to be disappointed.
Well, for context, they got an 83% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
So
That's
I
pretty
think it was
solid.
only 2% shy of the Batman at 85.
I mean, that's crazy. I'll say that.
That's a bit
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I just don't get it. Like for the Batman, it's not to go back to it, but like everyone I know liked it a lot. So the fact, even on like online, I didn't see anything bad about it.
Yeah, the fact it's not at least in the 90s, it's not in the 90s is insane.
Yeah, even
Or
older
even close
people
to 90.
liked it. So I don't get it. I don't
My
know.
dad's probably the only one I know who saw it and didn't like it, but my dad doesn't like any movie ever, so
Yeah,
that's
so,
really not the
yeah.
best judgment guy. Unless it's got Tom Cruise in it, he doesn't care. Jack Reacher,
I
loves
take
Jack
it he's,
Reacher.
like-
Great movies.
I mean, Tom Cruise, I think, just has a hold on everybody's parents because it's the same
He
way.
does.
He loves
He
Jack.
does.
My parents love Jack Reacher a lot.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't? If you're above the age of like 50, 45, you're a big Tom Cruise guy. All right, then obviously we'll switch up tone just a tiny bit here, and we'll go to Minions: Rise of Gru. Josh,
I saw this.
if you had to compare Minions: Rise of Gru to the Black Phone, what would you say?
About on the same page, I would actually say, in terms of like, I wasn't disappointed, actually, and I also realized watching this movie, all the ones that have Gru in it, I've actually somehow seen them. I don't know how it sneaks up on me. I don't know how I get myself in these scenarios where I watch this movie and this franchise, but I have. And each time I come out of it saying, you know what? It really wasn't that bad. I like that kind of. And then, yeah, that's really what I can say about it. It's good enough. If you have a younger sibling, this is a film that you can go and watch it with them and not hate yourself while watching it. So that's a win.
That is a win. I mean, yeah, it almost won in the box office too. It almost crossed $1 billion. It's at 939 million.
That's
It got close.
that's insane.
Yeah. Rotten Tomatoes is 70%.
I think it's a little mean.
It's an
A
average
little
movie.
mean, but yeah. But
Personally, what would you give it?
I'd give it like
what
a
percent?
73, 74 in that area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, and then
Sounds
I think Alex, The
Cool.
Gray Man, Netflix original movie, obviously Russo brothers. Uh, I think Alex, are you the only one who saw this? I know I didn't.
For some reason, I just never got to it. I wanted to and was on the heat of wanting to see it, and I just didn't. So it's just Alex.
Which is surprising considering
I
that
know.
Yeah.
you have become a really big Ryan
know.
Gosling fan.
I actually just watched
and
one of his
Chris Evans
movies
is in this one.
2 nights ago. It was pretty good.
Which movie?
Which one?
We'll move on. Alex, Gray Man.
Oh, okay. Well, so for the return of the Russo brothers, I think this is their first film since finishing up in the Marvel Universe. I thought it was a solid movie. Is there anything groundbreaking about it? Not really. It is kind of a generic type of story. They do add like certain elements that make it somewhat unique, but it doesn't do enough for me to like not group it in with all the other kind of espionage type of movies. I will say the big highlight for me was definitely the two lead actors, Ryan Gosling, Chris Evans as Lloyd. Dude, Chris Evans can act. He can actually play a bad guy. I did not believe he can really pull it off, but the 2 times he's had his chance at playing a bad guy, one in Knives Out and now in The Gray Man, he's done a pretty good job. So didn't ever think that I would say that, considering he's been mostly played good people in movies. I mean, for context, I did not know this, but it's a 46% Rotten Tomatoes, so not great.
Jesus.
That is pretty bad. But I personally would put it more around like the 73-4 range. It's watchable. You're not going to want to shoot your brains out. So yeah, it's a decent watch, especially since it came out on Netflix. So it's not like it went to theaters or anything like that. So yeah. Oh, how can I forget, dude? Ana de Armas. Always great. She wasn't that big in the movie, but just enough to elevate the movie a tiny bit. So
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. Talking about shooting your brains out. Nope. Jordan Peele's movie. That's what I thought of it. That movie sucked.
Yeah, and it's gaining recent traction. I'm seeing on TikTok of people ranking movies from this year, and people are going back to really liking it. No, it was just nope to nope. I didn't like it at all. It felt like a waste of my time, for sure. Like, we were both very angry watching that movie.
Yeah, I mean, like Blake said before, I did end up watching it. I guess it's on Amazon Prime or whatever it was. My parents were like, "Hey, you want to watch it?"
I think it's on the
Sure,
Cock.
why not? On Peacock?
Yeah.
Do you have Peacock?
I don't know.
Rich like that,
I
huh?
don't even know anymore.
Guy doesn't even know what he has. That's how rich he is.
Man,
That's
that's wild.
absolutely crazy.
That's crazy. Insane.
Anyways, I saw this and it was like the direction was good, and then you just started getting like all this weird stuff, and I'm like, well, this is not what I expected. Like when the main character, when he goes into the barn and you started to hear all this stuff, I'm like, okay, maybe this is starting to get
Literally,
weird.
bro.
And then and then all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, like I low-key got tingles because I'm like, oh shit, like you can see them, like, oh okay,
Yeah.
here we're like, he's actually doing it, and then it's just kids that are fucking with him.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Just
damn.
was dumb.
and then the way that like the whole thing turns out to just be its own being, which could be cool, but the way it played out and the way like you said in I can't remember what video we did that conversation came up. It became like some sort of like boat kite type of thing. I don't know, man. It was just, it kind of left my brain immediately afterwards. I would say there was potential. There was potential there. and it just went downhill after that barn scene.
Strong
I was just
potential. Especially with all the cast that was involved. There's just strong potential. And
I mean, they did their job. They I wouldn't say it's on the actor's fault. I would say
no, it's on Jordan Peele being an awful director and writer.
Yeah, and also the actual the villains, bad guys, etc. in the movie was what let it down. The fact that it wasn't like an alien thing; it was a beast, and that's why he referenced the monkey or whatnot, and it took itself way too serious and was trying way too hard to be something that it's not. It
was classic Jordan Peele. It has a good premise, and then all of a sudden, halfway through, you realize, oh, this guy absolutely sucks. This guy is Jeff Saturday. He doesn't know how to finish the job. And it falls apart. That's all it is. It's... Yeah. I mean, literally, all of his movies, they just fall apart at the end.
I mean, I'm looking at it right now. It has an 82%.
That's insane.
So
that is stupid.
Out of all the ones we talked about, it's
so
up there.
Bad. That's so bad. That's near Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Batman's 85.
So like I said, a lot of people, for some reason, liked it, and then it went to then hating it to then now people are liking it again, and it's just
because we just wouldn't get it. We wouldn't get it. We just wouldn't get it.
We do. It's just not good. Hey, you skipped a dog shit one with Thor, by the way. Thor: Love and Thunder.
Do we want to talk about that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, we all hated it. We all thought it sucked.
And it's worse than Nope.
Hey, link right up there somewhere, man.
Good for you, Nope.
If you want to watch us just fucking destroy that movie, go ahead and watch that video.
Yeah,
that's all we got to say about that.
Worst movie of the year, I think. That might be the worst movie
easily.
Of the year. That might be the award we give it. It got the award. Congratulations.
I mean, to the point where it should destroy the director.
As of right now, yes. We'll see.
Right,
I'm just trying to see ahead.
There's nothing.
You know
worse.
what? I think you're
There's
right.
Nothing worse.
It's not impossible.
There's nothing worse.
In fact, I compared every movie to this movie this year in terms of badness. Nothing got close.
You know what?
That's
you're
crazy.
Right. Yeah.
It's probably because I'm looking at my phone and not a monitor, so I kind of skipped over because I didn't see it really well.
Well, hey, I went back for you.
We'll go back to another Netflix original, Sea Beasts animated movie starring Carl Urban. I'm the only one who watched it. I put it on there solely because I hate animated movies, and I watched this because it was Carl Urban, and I enjoyed the movie. It was actually it was a pretty good movie. Interesting message at the end. Interesting. Appreciated it though. A little deep for a kids movie kind of thing, but whatever. Yeah, the animations in this was really good too, which surprised me. This one was actually a good movie, worth a watch.
Yeah, I didn't even hear anything about this movie, so Netflix just
yeah, me neither.
Carl Urban
did a bad job.
Okay.
They always do a bad job advertising their actual good ones.
True. And then we'll go to one of Alex's favorite movies of the year, DC League of Super Pets. Well, we'll let Alex take it away.
Yep.
Did not watch it.
That's not true, Alex. You don't have to lie.
Alex.
No, I
just safe.
Dude, I watched Sonic 2.
We know how much you love Kevin Hart and Rock Combo.
Come on.
I think that's blatant.
Change the balance of the DC universe.
It did.
Come on.
The way they did Batman in that movie was so funny.
Yeah, he's in 2 movies. The Rock's in 2 movies, so technically he did shift the balance there. Too much Rock.
Nobody watched this. Nobody cared. Shut the fuck up, Rock. Moving on. Bullet Train. Alex, take it away.
I know you hated this movie for some reason.
Yes, I did.
I loved this movie.
Plenty of reasons.
This one was probably my under the radar movie that I did not expect to enjoy as much as I did. Now, I don't know what it has on Rotten Tomatoes as I'm currently looking it up right now. It has a solid, oh my god, 54. Jesus Christ.
Good rating. Good rating. Way to go, Rotten Tomatoes.
No.
Give it the award.
I disagree.
No. This movie was entertaining. It had all of the action, the fight scenes. I enjoyed the whole premise of Brad Pitt being the unlucky one and kind of everything converging on a train.
Pretty annoying.
I like this movie. Shut the fuck up. This is my movie. I did not talk over your movie. I fucking love this movie. This is one of my top movies of this year. You let me speak. It's my turn. It's my turn. I'm pulling a fucking Skip Bayless right here. This is my turn.
It's my turn. It's my turn. It is. You told me it was my turn.
All right, that was the Alex's top moment of 2022.
That just shows you I love this movie. Okay, I bought this movie on 4K. I got the steelbook on it.
Mistake.
I fuck. I fucking love this movie, and this is one that I can rewatch and enjoy in any sort of setting. So fuck you for not liking it. And that's it. Let's see. Box office 239. So it didn't do like a lot. It didn't get a lot of money, but it didn't do poorly. But yeah, the Rotten Tomatoes 54%. I'm about to disagree on that. I'll give it at least a 75%. For me personally,
I'd say in Alex's defense for the movie, like for me, this was a movie I wanted to see when the trailers are coming out, but just
it's a theater
didn't
movie.
get to it in the theaters. Yeah, I mean, it was what I wanted it to be and expected it to be. So I guess that's probably why I enjoyed it and thought it was good. Alex definitely loves it the most out of us, but I could see like if you were expecting more, then yeah, you could easily get let down during this film, but it's what I wanted it to be. So also there's a lot of actors there that I love, so that helped. Big bonus there too. So yeah, I think 50 as well is a little brutal. I'd at least give it in like the 60ish, high 60s range.
50's fair.
That is just all right. Moving on, but let's just move on to the next movie because this is.
Oh, I don't get to give my... Okay, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. No,
We already know.
I'm being silenced.
We already know. You throughout my entire thing, you kept interrupting me. You know what? 54 is a good number. It's good. No, it's way too high. No. We know what your thoughts on it is. Move on.
Poor writing. Poor
No.
writing.
Poor writing. Jesus Christ.
Let's go to Prey. Let's go to Prey.
What do you mean?
Watch that?
What do you
Anybody
mean?
watch that?
I did watch that.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
watched
it's actually
it.
pretty good. I was surprised.
Was
I was
it?
actually surprised by Prey.
Didn't see it.
I didn't really have a whole lot going into it, honestly, because I didn't realize it was a thing until I saw it while I was scrolling, and I was like, okay, guess we'll watch this. It was actually pretty good. The fight sequences were pretty nice. The end fight was pretty dope. How it ends is, it's a nice little change, I guess. I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, I was actually pleasantly surprised with this one.
I would agree. I have seen a few of the other Predator movies. I haven't seen like all of them though. It definitely took a turn. They definitely went a whole different direction. Obviously, to taking it back to times before even like people were using guns and stuff. So this one it was good. I mean, it got a fucking 93% Rotten Tomatoes, so it's I think it's second right now in terms of the highest rated movie so far in our list. Obviously
Third for it.
Third,
because it's everything, everywhere, and then Top Gun Maverick's number one.
That's
They got
right.
96, 95.
So
92.
it's currently sitting at number 3 for best rated.
Yeah.
Obviously, it didn't make
That's
much money
crazy,
as
bro.
it went to Hulu directly. I will say it may have benefited them to get a little more money because the budget was only $65 million. I mean, I get it; it was going to go to Hulu anyways.
It's actually a high budget. I thought it was way less.
I mean,
Yeah, how did you even make money?
Is it? It's a Hulu original, right?
it is a Hulu original.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
So
I think that was just Hulu trying to get in the game, bro. Because I can't even remember the last time Hulu like released anything like that.
Yeah. Fact.
So
Well, no, they
can't-
have that one with Martin Short and Steve Martin. Selena
Oh
Gomez.
yeah, the show like that with Selena Gomez.
They have that show that's
Murders in
pretty
the Building.
popular.
No, but,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I think it's
I like
about
that
like
show.
movies.
Yeah.
No,
This was a
but yeah.
movie, right? Not a show.
Oh yeah, this
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
And I gotta say, pleasantly surprised for sure. So definitely didn't know it was a 93 though. Jesus Christ.
Yes. That's too high. Let's be real. That movie
Going
was a
on, we
solid
should go to this next film
low
where
80.
Well, let's just mention
it deserves all the praise.
There's two movies that we did mention in our list last year that were supposed to come out. Obviously, Mission Impossible 7, and then Spider-Man into the Across the Spider-Verse. And they were delayed, so unfortunately, we can't
Big delays.
rate them this year. It looks like if everything stays on path, they might be reviewed next year. So something to look forward to.
They definitely will. They definitely will. But let's talk about the stars of the year. You know,
Like this was a star movie.
Dependable movies that you know when a certain time of year rolls around. You know when May comes, Marvel's dropping a banger, and you know when October comes,
Drake drops.
Michael Myers is coming back, dropping a banger.
Dropping a banger. Man.
Halloween ends. God, what a movie!
It was good. Great ending, and I don't give a fuck. You know, I think we should give it some sort of award of being the fact that. Whoa, no, I will give it for a finish for the trilogy. I think it's great. Well, you can't change up. We both came out of that.
I said I really liked the movie,
Listen,
the ending, it was a solid, good ending.
Yeah,
it was not great
for a horror franchise. Yeah, I say it's great.
Okay, well, I'll just give my quick thoughts since I wasn't there when you guys reviewed it together there. So I'll just kind of say what I thought about it that night. I did watch it on Halloween night, you know, put myself in the mood to watch the movie. I'll say it was a solid movie. It was definitely better than the second one. It's probably up there with the first one. I think the one thing that I think I came out of the movie thinking was, damn, Michael was sidelining his own movie. Like, he barely was in it.
That's likely true.
Yeah, I did like, you know, when he was used, like his scenes, those were dope. And then the new kid, Corey, I mean, I like the idea. It's just, it felt a little weird to me. I don't know. It felt like there was potential there. So, like, if I had to say anything about this movie, was the potential of making that payoff between Corey and Michael, and how, I think this is what they were trying to say with that movie is, like, you know, evil comes in all different shapes and sizes, and I don't know. I genuinely don't know what they were trying to do with the whole, like, Corey sees his eye, and then all of a sudden he then gets that bloodthirst. I don't know. I've seen, like, all the other Halloween movies. They go a whole different direction, like a whole fucking cult thing. It's weird. This franchise is weird. So no, I don't get it.
Too advanced for him.
It is too.
You wouldn't understand.
Yeah, dude.
Go back to DC League of Super Pets.
Go watch Nope.
Yeah.
Anyways, this film was. Listen. I think
it was solid.
For me. Obviously, I was the one that liked it the most. Reason why I liked it the most is I'm a sucker for films that, especially when you're watching the first time, you don't fully know what's going on, and there's a little bit of that surprise element. And with this movie, with you said with Corey, he's the surprise element. You know, we all know it's the third movie, and everyone's thinking, okay, you know, majority of time, horror franchise, they try to set up for in the future, you know, new releases, things like that. So everyone with Corey, you're wondering, is he going to be the new Michael? You know, is he the replacement? Is he going to be the one that, are they going to make new movies now with him? You know, keep grinding out the money. That was kind of the greatness about Corey, as well as also it was kind of showing off how, like, the evil, like, actual powers worked in this universe the whole time. So I thought that was kind of nice of it closing out how things actually worked. You saw the power balance struggles going between him and Michael of when one person does evil acts, that's where the power goes to and stuff like that. You know, I thought it was good. It definitely got way overhated, so maybe that's why I'm inclined to say it's great, because, you know, there's a lot of arguing, me defending. I mean, I literally created a Rotten Tomatoes account for this movie. But yeah, like, I thought it was just good, and especially just, like, in that month of October of me watching so many other different horror movies, this trilogy is just, like, above so many of the rest in, like, actual movie quality, I think. So yeah, I loved it.
Facts.
Yeah. Still don't like Halloween Kills though. I can't get over that movie.
That's
Guy doesn't get it. Guy doesn't get it. Guy doesn't
I'm
get
sorry. I can't get over that one.
Moving on to a shift in the DC universe. All right, this
Big
one.
Talk about power struggle.
This one was
Josh.
so good. This one was so good that they talked about the post-credit scene because they were hoping people would go see it. And reports are coming out. People did not really go see it. And there's a reason. Black Adam. Wow. You know, The Rock. You had a good run, bud. You had a good run. But yeah, that movie.
39%.
See, I think he ruined it afterwards for it, you know? Because, like, we left
And
Blake
before.
out of the movie, though, like, saying it was better than we expected. Like, the action scenes. It, like, we did not hate it. But The Rock definitely made this movie just have a bad taste in your mouth now about it. And that there's just no way anyone's coming out of this thinking, like, a positive spin when they hear the Black Adam at all.
Right. Because all they're going to think about is that post-credit scene and how basically it tried to set up something that will not happen anymore. So
And not working with Shazam, too.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it was just
like,
a lot of the bad things about the movie is not even about the movie itself. I mean, it's kind of what they do around it and after and before, trying to hype people like Blake said to go see this movie just by teasing, literally telling you. It's not even teasing. They literally told you, hey, post credit scene, Henry Cavill showing up.
So stupid.
Oh, cool. Thanks, bro. Thanks.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that was tough. I mean, and Rotten Tomatoes is not any better. 39%. That's tough. It doesn't even tell me how much money it made. That is tough. I remember that they're trying to break even. They couldn't even. I don't think they even broke even. To be honest with you,
The Rock was trying to say it made like 50 to 100 million profit. Realistically, it's looking like they maybe broke even if they're lucky. Yeah, nothing too special. Another one where the lead did some things. The Flash was allegedly supposed to be coming out around the same time.
My God, dude, the Flash.
The
delayed.
DC universe is in a bit of a struggle.
Yeah.
It might be coming out next year. Who knows at this point when this movie comes out? Just end it. Just stop. Hit delete on that file.
Yeah.
Move on. You lost your money. You guys.
It's also just weird that they're just not pulling this project in comparison to what they've done to other actors like Henry Cavill, for a big example. You know what I mean? But like you're still rocking with Ezra Miller, like hard.
And it's
you know
also
what I mean?
Take away the fact it's him or them. Sorry.
Yeah.
What is the point of this movie? It was supposed to be like a hard reset, but we now know it's not going anywhere.
Mhm.
Why do we need this to happen? Like what?
I just want. It had to be the budget for it or something. Like they had to spend stupid money,
has to be.
which
I think they did.
I don't see
a shit ton.
how. Like how and why. Like who approved is saying like, yeah, we're gonna go this hard on the Flash when already in a Justice League movie, fans were split about even him being the Flash and their opinions on him, and they're like, out of all those guys, this is the movie that we're gonna spend the biggest budget on.
200
It's
million
crazy.
budget.
Yeah, we can't even trust those numbers.
True.
It's probably way more than that, and they just don't want to admit that.
That's true. And now when it comes out again, they're gonna have to spend more money on marketing.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to.
Well, the longer it gets delayed, the more the budget goes up.
Maybe they're like filming reshoots to maybe now have it make it work so that when it does do a hard reset, it's going to reset into what James Gunn and Peter Safran is trying to do.
I doubt
That's
it.
the only thing I could think of is why they're delaying it this much. I mean, other than obviously the lead, but
no, they're hoping people forget
about
about they're hoping people forget about what everything with Ezra. But
yeah,
we'll move on. Again, Marvel movie, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Obviously, we have a whole video about it. So if you want to watch that, go watch that. Quick thoughts. We all thought it was actually, pretty surprising, pretty, a bit of. It's weird to say a breath of fresh air because it is a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
But it did feel a little bit different, a little bit more like the OG Marvel movie-ish, to me at least, and obviously Josh, I know we've talked about that. Yeah, it's just kind of my quick thoughts. We have a video on it, obviously, but if you guys have any other quick comments.
I mean, again, 84%. I don't think we knew that then, so it's a little bit lower than the Batman by 1%. So
Alex is comparing everything to the Batman. Yeah,
well,
the benchmark.
You know, the thing Sonic 2 really lacked.
I know.
Sonic 2 didn't have the huge, shooting up an entire like political thing, like bit of a thing. But other than that, very similar movies.
Listen, it's not my fault that the first big movie we talked about was the Batman, and it landed at 85%, which is a solid number to start everything. So, just saying.
Valid. All right, moving on. This was my RKO winner out of nowhere. The Menu. I didn't even fully know what the movie was about. I just remember seeing the previews. I was like, oh, that looks kind of cool, like a long time ago. And then it came out, and I was like, let's go see it with my brother. We both absolutely loved this movie. Like, so much fun. The experience of seeing it in theaters too, as it is a darker satire, kind of dry humor movie. People were not laughing at it. My brother and I found it hilarious, so we were just dying laughing. Yeah, people did not like it for some reason. Funny. I was like, this movie's hilarious. But yeah, I just really enjoyed this movie. It's definitely my RKO winner.
Yeah, it was a solid movie, and once again, like I said earlier, I love movies that don't force feed me what's going on, and especially benefits from just like a one-time viewing right away of you not knowing what's happening. I also went into this of just straight up that Blake liked it, and that I saw like 10 seconds of a trailer, and I was like, I'm gonna stop watching because I want to watch this movie, and it was good. And also, I loved the actors in it. It was hilarious. Also, because one of the actors that was in it was also in Violent Night, and I literally watched that like a couple days before, so that was funny that he's also in this movie too. No, it was really, really good. Loved it.
Rotten Tomatoes also liked it. 89%. It almost cracked 90.
Good rating for it.
It almost cracked 90.
Big respect. And I guess we'll just go right into it, Josh, as you just mentioned it. Violent Night. You're the only one who saw it, so.
It definitely. If I went into this movie of just like barely any knowledge of it, I would enjoy it a lot more. It's good enough. It's the definition of good enough. But the trailer shows way too much, and since I kept seeing the trailers for it in movies before it came out, definitely ruins some of like the funniest scenes in the movie, and that's kind of frustrating because then when you get to that scene, just like my gripe with Marvel trailers, it's like, okay, well, that scene didn't hit, now I'm taken out of it. But no, it's good enough. I didn't feel like I wasted my money seeing it, but it was all right.
I saw it on Christmas night. It was a fun thing to watch. Oh yeah, I did also watch it. By the way, I watched it. I watched it on Christmas. Yeah, I watched.
I thought you were saying Avatar.
I did see that one too, but I saw it on Christmas Eve. Yeah,
I didn't know if you saw it or not.
I did. Yeah.
Wait, so you saw back-to-back days? Movies?
Yeah. When did you see Avatar?
In the morning, on Christmas Eve, and then this one, it's on demand.
So Christmas Eve, you wake up, you went and saw Avatar 2.
Yes.
You went home.
Mm-hmm.
You then left the house later Christmas Eve night.
No, we watched it here. It's on iTunes, so we rented it.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it was fun, and it got a 73%.
Yeah, we didn't know you saw it. 73. Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
okay.
A little high, but
okay.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Probably 60 something. 68.
And then we'll move on. Glass Onion, Knives Out Mystery, obviously a Netflix original, which was kind of weird. Was anyone else kind of confused by that? Did Knives Out? I thought it did pretty good theater-wise.
It did, and I don't know how Netflix pulled that off.
Netflix.
I haven't seen this movie yet. I do want to see it, but I know initially there's some strong split opinions about this, like far greater than Knives Out. of like I've seen on TikTok of people really loving it or saying like this movie's just so ass. It's so bad. That's all I know about it.
Who here has watched the first Knives Out?
I think we all have.
Oh, we all okay. So I think it's fitting that the name of the movie is Glass Onion: A Knives Out Mystery, because it's not a direct sequel per se. It doesn't kind of have the same kind of formula or format of how the first one was filmed, how like the story unfolds. It definitely is different. The title makes sense. That's all I will say about that.
Yeah.
But personally, I enjoyed it. Probably, it's definitely on par or maybe a little bit better than the first one. And now that may just be recency bias, but I mean, it's definitely at least on par with the first one. And Rotten Tomatoes has it at 94. 94.
That's
94. Wow. Like I said, there's a lot of split opinions on it.
I saw
think
this. I do not. You thought it was on par or better than Knives Out?
Yeah. Oh wait, you did see it.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, no spoilers. No spoilers. I want to see it.
I'm not on the side of hating it. I thought it was still a good movie because I like, the mystery type movies. I think they're interesting, and I like how both this and Knives Out are. I just find them interesting. And so I will say, like, I enjoyed it still, but I definitely think it was not on par with Knives Out. I definitely felt it was a little bit under Knives Out, but overall, I mean, like you said, I think it's enjoyable. I liked, I think the movie is good, and I think part of that is, I think Daniel Craig's character is just such a funny character. Just like his mannerisms and the way he talks and everything is just funny. So, yeah, but I like I said, I enjoyed this movie. 94 is definitely very high. Definitely like high 70s, low 80s would be pretty valid. But I don't think it was not on Knives Out's level. I don't think personally.
Wow. Well,
and then we have 3 movies here. 3 movies that were supposed to come out around the Christmas time. Creed 3, obviously. Finish the trilogy. I don't think there's more in plans of the Creed, which is obviously a continuation type deal from Rocky. This one hurts, but thankfully we did get a trailer of it recently, so we do have hope this is happening. When we made this video, I put it in as a joke because I didn't realize if it was a real thing or not, but thankfully it's happening. Got a trailer. Cocaine Bear will come out 2023, everybody. Mark your calendars, alright? That movie is going to be elite. And then we had very interesting Aquaman, The Lost Kingdom, which was supposed to come out the same day as Avatar 2, originally. We talked about that in the old video. It has been delayed. Shockingly, who knew DC didn't have anything? 2022 was the year of DC, just so everybody's on the
Year
same
of
page.
Water,
That was the
apparently,
thing, so.
too. With Wakanda,
Facts.
Avatar, and if that would have came out.
Facts. Hopefully we'll see Avatar 2. By hopefully, I mean who the hell cares? So those are 3 movies we're all supposed to come out around, December of 2022. And then to finish the year, Avatar: Way of Water, one of the most talked about movies, I would say, when it finally got announced that it actually was happening.
13
this was one
years.
that was kind of teased about, like, oh, it's happening, it's not. And then we finally saw it. It is happening. Obviously, the time we record this, it is still very fresh in all of our minds.
I literally
We
saw
haven't
it
talked
today.
too much about it. Yeah.
I saw
We all
it
haven't talked
4
too
days
much
ago.
about it a little bit. 2 days ago, I think I saw it. 2 days? 1 day? 2 days? I thought it was actually pretty good. I definitely think it's better than the first Avatar. I think this movie is 100% worth seeing. Unfortunately, as much as, in a way, gotta respect James Cameron, you gotta go see this in theaters. You gotta see it in the biggest screen you can, with 3D, with the loudest speakers, everything. Go all out for it. The story's better than Avatar 1, still obviously nothing groundbreaking, but I believe this is an enjoyable movie, and very surprised.
I know, because if I remember correctly, when we did this a year ago, you were saying that you weren't really excited about it. So it's funny how those work,
Multiple texts by Blake saying, "I'm not paying my money to go see this film."
Yep. That we do remember that. Yep. But all I could add to that is I agree. Definitely a movie theater movie. Like, you have to absolutely watch it in the biggest screen with the 3D, especially the way that the action scenes are filmed. You know, it's I guess they use a tactic to make the frame rate, 48 frames, I believe. And typically most movies are filmed 24. And it somehow, some way, they managed to outdo themselves with the CGI. I guess for 2009, the CGI was elite. That's why it made so much money the first time, and I think it still holds the number one movie of all time, right? If I'm not mistaken.
No, no. Avengers took it from them.
Yeah, because then it re-released about re-releasing it or whatnot, and then
so it technically is. Yep, the first one still is.
I don't think it has it.
I don't think it is.
Fact check me, but I'm pretty sure it is. So while he does that, currently it's sitting at a 78% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it has a box office total of just over $1 billion. So it's, I believe, one of the 3 or 4 movies that did cross $1 billion.
I'm gonna stop you there, champ. I do not believe those numbers are real yet. You're telling me in less than a week that's been $1 billion movie?
Avatar is back up to number one because of that re-release.
Oh yeah, that's stupid. I don't know if Avatar is officially at $1 billion.
Only because, kind of like what we're saying, you have to go see it in IMAX 3D. Those tickets aren't cheap, bud. So if you imagine everyone going to see just that kind of format, I think that kind of
my theater was
helps.
packed.
Oh yeah, mine too.
Dude, I went during a daytime on a Wednesday, and I was like, okay, probably no one's going to be here, and there was still at least like 15-ish people. So I was like,
I went at 2:00 on the 26th, Monday. We got there 10 minutes before. We had to sit on the very, very end.
Damn.
Like, very end. There was the entire middle we were packed in there.
Damn. Yeah, I went at 10 a.m. and it was just pretty packed on the 24th. So, yeah.
That's
good
crazy.
thing we reserved the seats because it was fucking packed.
We did not. And I'll be honest, there's a good chance I see this movie again before it's out of theaters.
Damn.
Good chance.
Okay. Well, I never thought I would
might
see Blake want to see a 3-hour movie again. Crazy.
Yeah.
That is insane. Avatar: Way of Water, you changed him, even slightly, but you did.
All I'm saying is, James Cameron, gotta give that man props because I didn't want to, but he got me.
He makes good movies to see in the theater, which we, as all theater lovers, respect that because you're keeping the business alive.
Facts.
Facts.
For me though, I think if Spider or Tuck, those two characters, they were interesting for me. They lost a couple points from the movie for being in it. But I think the weirdest thing for me was this movie is beautiful for sure. Like, plenty of moments where I was like, okay, that shot alone was like, all right, no matter what. Which I didn't spend my money on this movie because I refuse. My mom gave me the credit card, but which is the reason why I saw the movie today. Because they're out of town.
You didn't see
they're
it
out
with
of town. No, they're out of town. So she was like, "Here's a credit card for food or whatnot." And I was like, "Okay, I'll take it." And I was like, "Hey," to my brother, I was like, "You want to go see this movie today?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." So I was like, "Okay, let's go see it." And I was like, because I didn't have to pay for it, I saw the movie.
Yep. Me too.
And yeah, so I mean, there's cool scenes. However, I will say, some of the action scenes, I mean, it felt like I was in a Halo 2 anniversary cut scene of a video game. How it was shot, and you can tell the frames per second just jumped up massively, and it kind of it looked cool, but it was weird of the difference. Each time you could tell there was a big difference, right. So it slightly took me out, and also didn't feel like it was a movie. It felt like everything was animated at that point. You know what I mean? For the fact it's not an animated film. So it was weird, but at the same time, I'm like, I like what he's trying to do and what he's doing, because maybe than other movies, you know what I mean, pushing once again the CGI genre of just pushing everything forward and what's expected. So that was cool for sure. But yeah, I don't know, like especially the ending. The ending makes it worth watching. So,
bro,
yeah, did not expect that. Shout out James Cameron for not, blowing the end of the movie.
I don't remember her name. Zoe Saldana's character.
Great voice acting.
She was fire at the end. She was so dope.
Yeah.
Like the fact when she was just going crazy, she was like a full on like monster basically. Her eyes were glowing. Yeah. Her bow and arrow scenes, some of them were fire. Like she was she was amazing. She was dope at the end.
Also, like I said, her voice acting was amazing. All like any voice acting for like the actual like avatars were great. A significant jump. But I will say, just like the last Avatar movie, in my opinion, there was a lot of cringy scenes. And also, I don't know. I don't really think the overall story is that strong, but hey, man, the fact that it ends and that they're definitely setting up a third movie, I was like, you know what? It's kind of turning into Fast and Furious. Like, I got to see the third one. If there's a fourth one, I'm going to see it. If there's a fifth one, he's got me. I'll be honest,
he got me. Yeah. I can't wait.
And
I can't wait. Avatar 3, I'm there.
I solely saw it because Blake said, and also, it was free, but Blake said it's not that bad. I was like, God damn it. Blake was my rock, and the rock broke.
Hey, bro. He got me. I don't know what to tell you. Shout out James.
Yeah, for real, though. It was a solid way to end the year. So that's.
I agree.
That's all I gotta say.
I agree.
Oh,
so that's our 2022 movie list. Obviously, the big awards, the RKO for those two. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once for me. The Menu. Morbius, I don't remember what we gave that. It got one though. Congratulations, you got a MMP.
It was the culture impact, the cultural impact. For the culture, Morbius got.
That is true.
Yeah. Thor got the biggest flop for sure of the year. Or just fold makes us want to kill ourselves. Just
big fold.
Absolutely, literally like the worst movie
Batman
I watched.
Was absolute gold.
Oh, absolute gold.
Yep,
that biggest gold.
Got more than 85.
That got the gold award. 100%.
Well, obviously, Top Gun Maverick is the absolute gold, but benchmark. But I think that wraps it up. Overall, 2022 was a pretty solid movie.
An interesting year for movies.
We had movies like Top Gun and Avatar that helped save
Halloween
theaters,
Ends,
which obviously we all appreciate. We're big theater people here. Movie theater, that is. Big difference.
Yes.
But yeah, it's gonna wrap up this video, and see you guys on the next one.